Sri Matre Namaha, Sri Rama Raksha, Sarva Jagat Raksha. Before getting into the topic, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you motivate us in bringing out the sacred content to you all. Today, I am going to talk about the body pains and the Kundalini awakening. How and why, and due to what you will get the body pains in the Kundalini awakening journey. So, as always, I'll share my own incident. So that you will be able to be more relatable and you will be able to understand the things much more deeper way. So few years back when I actually got awakened, and after 2021 I had like so many bodily issues, health issues basically. So most of the times when since 2020 only, I used to have some kind of a pain in certain part of the body, and I did not know why I had those kind of a pains, and it was like unexplainable pains. So at that time when I was like a very logical and a scientific kind of a person, as you already know about my like background, medical background and all those things. So I thought that and at that time I did not have much knowledge about the Kundalini and spirituality, all those things. So I was not not at all familiar with the spiritual world. I was not at all familiar with the spiritual knowledge or the Kundalini knowledge. So what I always used to whatever was happening with me, I used to solve it in a medical way. So when I thought that if I'm having some pain, so during that time, during the 2022 continuous all the years, so whenever 2020 till all those like a 2 3 years also, but I always used to solve the things in a medical perspective. So whenever I used to get pain, because at that time I did not have much knowledge, and at that time it was my initial phases of the awakening, so it was more drastic condition. So whenever I used to get pain in certain parts of my body, I always used to think in the terms of the medical perspective, because I'm a doctor. So I always used to analyze how doctors will be like. I used to diagnose my own self. I used to think, okay, I have like maybe this issue or this issue, maybe I have this symptoms of this kind of a condition. So I always used to think in terms of medical ways. I always used to analyze it in terms of medical ways, and I because of that, and I used to cross check with my seniors, or I used to go to like hospitals based of that kind of a specialty. For example, if I'm getting stomach ache, and I am not able to manage it, and it was very severe, very sharp, and I don't know what to do with it. So what I used to think is, oh, maybe there is maybe some kind of a food problems I have, or maybe some kind of a problem I'm having. So let me go to the scanning, or let me go for a gastroenterologist. So I used to go to that kind of a doctor or that kind of a specialist. So at same way, when I like in this process, when I went to the gastroenterologist, when that day I was more hurtful, I felt more that pain what I experienced with the doctor was more compared to my stomach pain. So when I went there, and he was like he like analyzed me, he did the physical examination and all those things, and then I told what all was happening with me. And I was normally, actually I was normally a healthy person. I don't have like any kind of a health issues, etc. But all these things are like Kundalini given things. But at that time I did not know that these were like Kundalini given things, or aches or pains or health issues. But at that time I was not familiar with all those things. So I thought maybe some kind of a condition, or maybe due to I'm going to bad phases in my life or bad situation in my life, maybe because of that. So I was having this severe pain, and I told him all the things whatever I was feeling, whatever I was experiencing inside my stomach. And then he analyzed me, he did the physical examination, and he told one thing that, did we study anything like this in our medical books or what? So he told like, did we study something like this? What all you're saying? He told me directly, what all you're saying, that did we study something like this in our books or what? So he was like questioning me, and he thought just I'm making up all those symptoms and I'm not having any kind of a problem. And maybe he thought that because of my career issues, or because of my personal issues, or because of the things which were happening to me personally, or because of that stress or depression, I'm having these kind of a symptoms. So when he told this, I felt really, really very bad. First of all, I'm having some severe conditions and severe problems, and nobody was acknowledging that, and nobody was giving a damn about it. And in spite of that, they were ulta saying all the things which they shouldn't be saying to me. And because I was already in the pain, and more added to that, and they were like discouraging, or they were like downing my mottos, and they were like depressing me more. I was already in the conditions of what is happening to me. I'm unable to know what is happening to me, what kind of symptoms are this, why I'm having these kind of problems. I was already in that uljan. So I'm trying to suljhaw that uljan. But these people whomever I'm going to, they're more doing that, they're more uljafying me. They are like trying more knots, and they are not solving my problem. Instead, they're increasing my problem. So when he told all these things, I felt like crying, but in front of my family member, I couldn't do that. As soon as I told that, and tears were rolling in my eyes, but I controlled it somehow. And when I came back home, I understood that there's no use to talk to these people. They are never going to understand this. So instead of even after talking to them and saying all my things which were happening to me honestly, they are unable to acknowledge it, they are unable to recognize it, and nobody gives a damns about it. And instead of caring and supporting for me, at least helping me from a humanity perspective, they will criticize me more by saying that you are a doctor, you don't even know like all these things, how can this kind of pain can happen to you, etc., etc. They will all backlash me more. So he's like a famous doctor in the city. He was famous, most famous doctor in that field. So I felt really bad. Then I came back home, and then I thought that it's okay. It's okay. This is something which is personal to me. This is my personal journey. They are not going to understand. They are never going to understand. From now onwards, what I'll do is I'll not go to the medical field with my kundalini things. So at that time, I did not even know like it was exactly kundalini, but I understood something is happening within me, within my body, supernaturally, but I couldn't name it, and also I couldn't know about the things completely, what all will happen in this process. So naturally I was trying to solve it in a 3D perspective, but I was not getting any kind of help there from the 3D people, or in the 3D ways, or from the 3D systems, 3D medical systems, etc., whatever it is. So I was like backlashed always, and I was feeling more horrible after encountering the things with the 3D people, or after saying about my stories, or after saying about the experiences which I am having about the kundalini to the people around me. So it was more suffocating, it was more depressing. So when I have gone through these kind of experiences, I like decided that now I'll not go. And also I have visited so many like hospitals for various reasons, like maybe sometimes I'm not feeling well, maybe my energy is low, and I thought that some problem is there within me suddenly, and my like a weight changes used to happen, and suddenly I used to be very thin. Suddenly I used to lose a lot of weight, and suddenly I used to gain a lot of weight. So when I used to lose a lot of weight, I did not know why, and I thought maybe some kind of anemia is happening to me, and I again went to hospital for the blood checkups and health checkups and all these things. And I had like various small issues. Those are not very critical issues, but then those are not also those kind of issues which were like which could be left out, which we can ignore. For suppose I told like I had like severe stomach pain, it was very severe. I am knowing that it is very severe. I am knowing that I am having a lot of pain in my stomach, but explaining to that to people was very much difficult, and they couldn't figure out anything, and they are seeing everything is all right, because whatever they could see physically, they are doing that, and they are thinking in the physical perspective, and that was correct. They are up to their whatever they are doing. Initially I got very hurt, but then later I understood, after years after that, I understood it's okay. So whatever they have criticized me, it's okay, because they can only see that much. The 3D ways of seeing is a limited perspective, and we are not the 3D beings anymore. I am not a 3D being anymore, and I have to face this. And it's like pros and cons of something. So if you are having pros, and you will also have cons, and you should be able to digest that, and you should be able to be okay with that. So after those kind of incidences, and I went to like various people's for like various hospitals especially, and most of the times it was like cyclical. Sometimes when whenever I was awakening or pre-awakening stages, I used to have some kind of health issues, this pain or that pain, some body pain, and I'm unable to figure out why this kind of a pain is happening to me. Maybe maybe it is because the Kundalini is releasing a lot of densities in that area, and that's why we are in the physical body, we are feeling that pain, because from the energetic body, all that densities which are there within us, they are releasing in the form of pain, and releasing in the form of physical pain especially. So that's why we feel pain in certain body parts, maybe stomach ache, maybe that ache, maybe this ache, maybe leg problem, maybe hand problem, maybe shoulder problem, whatever. You will have pains in different parts of your body, and it is a Kundalini symptom. Okay, so before you analyze that if it's a Kundalini symptom or you have any health problem, even if the people backlash you, go to the hospital. I'll suggest you to go to the hospital. Even if they were telling me all these things, because maybe some of you might be not from the medical field like me, so for you it will be still be okay. Maybe you'll not face that kind of bad experiences like me, but for you it will be still be okay to consider the opinion of the doctor. For me it was very much bad, because I'm in that field only, and then people used to backlash me, and then people used to name me and criticize me for the things which I was having. So for me that was a more bad and a more like a shameful experience. Shameful experience for me, because on top of, first of all, they were my seniors, and on top of that they used to like judge me, like why this girl is having these kind of a things, and maybe they are thinking that it is some psychological problem, it is somatic problem, or it is because of the stress and all those things. But it was not true. I inside me know that I'm going through something, but I'm unable to name that. I'm unable to recognize that entire process. I at that moment of time, I don't know the entire steps and procedures of that process. I was so confused. I was having so many question marks. But at the end of the day, inside my heart, I know that I'm going through something, and nobody was understanding that something. So that's and that was making me more frustrating. and on top of that, I'm into medical field, so nobody was so that supportive, and also I was going through a lot of pains of the body aches here and there. So it was very much frustrating, and dealing with these things and like making people understand about your symptoms will be very much frustrating. So what you have to do is, if you can get the help, get the help. If you're having some kind of pain still, even after people say or backlash you, people say words, it doesn't matter, go get a checkup done. Because if just in case, if it's not a Kundalini issue, if it's a health issue, and if you ignore it, then it will be a major problem. So that's why make sure that you go. I know how much of money and energy and time and your mental health will be affected in this going around to hospital, from hospital to hospital, and getting the reports normal, and facing the same things again and again, and also feeling very confused and disappointing your family members, and also you're spending a lot of money in there with the hospital and all these things. It's not easy. I know it's not easy, but then because it's your health, that's the reason why go get a checkup done. And if you are sure that it's not any medical reason, it's a Kundalini reason only, it's a Kundalini symptom only, then you can be like you can surrender to the Kundalini for the next process. So if it's a medical reason, go to the doctors or go to the health checkup and all those things. Whatever the things which you have to do for your medical health, you do that. Okay, so if you don't have any medical issues, if you feel that all the reports are normal, if you don't have any kind of a physical illness, then maybe this is a Kundalini symptom for you. And if you are going through Kundalini awakening, and if you are facing these kind of a symptoms, and without any medical reason, with being all the reports normal, maybe this is your Kundalini symptom. So you have to analyze for yourself what is what. So you have to check for yourself if it's really a kundalini symptom or if it's a medical symptom. You have to differentiate among yourself and decide. So why this video is because to help you decide and understand what kind of a symptoms you will get on in the kundalini journey. So step by step I'll make different kind of health related symptoms which you will face in the kundalini journey. So this video is related to the body pains. So definitely in the kundalini awakening journey you will go through some kind of a pains or aches in different parts of the body. So for example, sometimes you will have stomach ache, or for after some months or year maybe you will have some knee pain, or after month or year you may have shoulder pain, or after some months or year you may have neck pain. So for all these pains, if you don't have any kind of a medical issue, if all your reports are normal, and still after, and also I took medications also, even after taking the medications all the problems did not go away. For example, for stomach ache I had stomach pain, so I took the tablet. Or if I am having any kind of a diarrhea like symptom, I took the tablet. Even for the diarrhea, even if I having any kind of a diarrhea like symptom, when I take the tablet, that tablet was not working for me. If the tablet works for you, then it's like some kind of a physical issue or physical health issue. It's a completely 3D issue. But even after the taking the medication, even after you take the tablet, but still the tablet is not working for you, and still you are having those kind of symptoms, means it's something related to the kundalini. So you are in the kundalini journey during that time, and you have to differentiate among yourself that what is happening with you. Analyze it very carefully. Even after taking the tablet, even after doing all the medical checkups, even after you are done and dusted with the medical thing, but still your symptoms are persisting, still even after the treatment your symptoms are still persisting, then it means it is related to kundalini. So kundalini, it's doing its clearing work for you. So you have to, and there is no option to let go of that pain very quickly. So for example, if you are having any pain in certain part of your body, so you can do some things to heal yourself. You can try like medications, you can try a little bit of a relief, or you can try some kind of a natural healing processes, or you can go for a walk, or you can do grounding methods, or you can eat healthy food, something like that. You can do something for healing or making the symptoms less. You can try all the things, okay, so that whatever the effect of that pain will be, it will be reduced for you for some level, but it's not a guarantee that it will go away. Okay, sometimes with the natural method, or sometimes with the things which you are working on yourself, or sometimes healing yourself, or sometimes doing your inner work, or releasing that energy, drinking a lot of water. I have made one video on the water also, you can check that out, where I've talked about the water and hydration. I've used an icon of the tea in that, so you can listen to that one. And also I've made some videos about the health and kundalini, antidepressants and kundalini. You can check that videos out. So you can try some methods or remedies for easing that pain, and by that you will have some relief, and also it will take time for the kundalini to process and release that pain. And when that energetic load is over, when that kundalini releases that energetic load, you will spontaneously feel better after that. So when the kundalini does its work, you will instantly you will feel that the pain is gone. So where it will be only for like limited period of time, and it will be automatic pain, and the pain will also go automatically only after the process is complete. So don't worry during that time. Be courageous and be hopeful that you will be okay, and try whatever you can do during that time period, and try to rest during that time period, so that you will have you will not have so much problem with whatever you're going through. So this was all about the body ache and the kundalini awakening. So hope this helps you in some or the other way. So thank you so much for tuning in. Sri Rama Raksha Sarva Jagat Raksha Sri Matre Namaha.